We're. Are you drunk?
I am drunk.
All right. Well, I'm pretty buzzed. So.
What is it that you keep wanting to smell despite the fact that it doesn't smell particularly good? I mean, mine's a common one that a lot of people agree with.
Your belly button?
No. Okay. What do you think the first person to milk a cow was actually trying to do?
What the first person
milking a cow? What was he trying to do?
He was sucking on it, of course. What do you like about that?
I don't know.
You don't know why you like? All right, so this is episode 7.
Episode 7.
And what's new today?
I think, let's start a new series, or let's test this one out. It's called the flight response. I think in the future, what we want to do is when we have enough viewership, we want viewer submitted questions, and we can respond by drinking and answering some questions.
So we would drink first, then answer the question.
Well, we'll have, I think, 10 questions. Today we're going to be doing hibiki, Japanese whiskey. Is
that your favorite?
It's better. I can't do clear, or I'd rather not do clear if I can. So whiskey or dark is my preferred choice.
You just never tried the right clear.
Sure.
But so
I think this is more of like a get to know us kind of episode that we want to try out.
Right.
Questions, and I don't know what the questions are yet. I just know that they're pre-selected questions, and then as we get more drunk, maybe our responses will be more interesting.
It will be.
Right. So I'm going to pour out the shots, and then maybe we can get our first question going, and then go from there.
So while you pour out the shots, for those who don't know, Suntory whiskey is, would you consider it a top grade whiskey?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, It's one of the more well-known, I guess, Japanese whiskeys out there.
Yeah.
Right?
It's, depending where you're located, it's, I would say $100 bottle. Costco sometimes have it on sale for $60, but it's pretty good. I like it.
I just spilled a lot right now.
You're already drunk, that's why. But I like it. It's relatively smooth. I personally prefer cognac. Think whiskey is a bit... I used to like whiskey when I was younger. But cognac is my default go-to now.
Yeah.
So let me help you pour.
Pour some on your side.
All right. But how come you don't like clear?
I did a vodka challenge back in my college days, and I think it was Smirnoff vodka, and I think I got to like 15 shots, and ever since then, even the smell of vodka is enough to make me yak. So,
what kind of vodka?
The Smirnoff.
No, sorry. Is it the red one or the blue one?
I believe it was a red one, if I can remember.
Disgusting. I always prefer the blue ones. I forgot what the difference was, but the blue Smirnoff was always better than the red.
I don't know. The fumes just smell like rubbing alcohol to me. So ever since then, I'm like,
there's actually good vodka. Like, Belvedere is actually not bad. I mean, it's not my first choice. So in my ranking order, I prefer cognac, whiskey, tequila, then vodka.
Okay.
But within tequila, it's as long as the tequila is not mezcal, then I'm okay with it. I'm not a fan of mezcal tequila just because of how smoky it is.
Yeah.
Vodka is rubbing alcohol. Whiskey, it depends. There's a lot of...
What's the most you've had? What's the most you drank in one sitting, I guess?
10 shots.
10 shots? Okay.
It was bad. So, it was a really bad time.
What we're about to do today.
Yeah. Well, but it was a 10, like the red cups?
Sure.
It was 10 of those, a full one.
Are you saying these aren't real shots?
These are half a shot.
Okay.
I think it's... if we got the red shot or red cups...
Yeah. Well, 10 questions in 1 hour, so we'll see how we survive.
Yeah, see. Not bad.
10 shots poured out.
Look how messy you are. You're just spilling everywhere.
I mean, that was only half of the bottle.
Oh my God, David. Look at all that mess you made.
All right. Ready.
Disgusting.
All right. What's the first question?
All right. So the first question is this. Would you...
Wait, should we take the shot first? And then...
Oh, you're right. See, look at that. Cheers.
Right. Cheers. All right. Smooth.
First question. Would you give up all forms of sex or give up sauces?
Sauces?
Condiments, like dipping sauce.
Oh.
So give up sex or give up condiment?
Give up condiment, for sure.
You give up condiments? So
Well,
everything.
I mean, but then
soy sauce, ketchup, mayonnaise,
Right,
mustard.
but
so hamburgers, sushi, all of those things will be out.
But yeah, but the alternative is giving up sex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rather give up the sauce?
I think so. You? I mean, I'm only thinking surface level right now, but
Well, what if you go up to the age of 60 and then you stop having sex regularly, but then you could have sauces?
sure.
Like
I guess
sauce and
the
dipping
my
sauce.
age at the time also matters, right?
Yeah, because you only got 15 more years. It's a little bit different.
Right,
So,
so-
15 more years of all forms of sex. So that's including masturbation.
Well, so I mean, I can do diets pretty easily, so I think I would still give up the sauces.
So you're okay with just salt.
Yes.
But I mean, when they prepared a steak, they're not going to be basting it with butter or nothing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, what's your answer?
It's
I would. Is this a hard question for you? I thought this was pretty easy.
If you think about it, sex is only up to a certain point, but condiments is throughout your whole life.
Is sex only up to? Well, for guys, is it really up to?
Because at some point, your testosterone and your sex drive goes down.
I guess. I mean,
right? Because how many 60-year-olds do you know that are still getting laid?
I mean,
Far and few, right?
I mean that we hear about.
Well, my parents are. I don't know about your parents, but mine aren't. So it's kind of like, you kind of give it up, but you get delicious food.
I still think I'll give up the sauce.
Because I mean, the sauce is also on dessert, and likewise, so you get that.
Oh, we're talking about desserts,
like sauce in general,
like flavor. Is what we're talking about.
No, but when you have like chocolate cake or raspberry cake, they put fruit sauce or chocolate sauce. Those are considered sauces.
Well, but then is like chocolate, like frosting.
Chocolate in and of itself is okay. Frosting, I think that's okay. But chocolate syrup is not okay.
Then that's fine. Yeah, as long as I don't give up flavor. If I have to give up flavor versus sex, maybe that is more of a question. But if it's just sauce versus, or condiment versus the main course, then yeah, I think I can give that up. Versus this you're literally saying not having sex for the rest of your life, or
I'm saying there's a trade-off, right?
Okay. Have I experienced sex before I give this up, or is it like I never experienced it and I just don't know what it is?
No, like up to your life now, you've obviously experienced it. It's not talking about.
Oh, so today?
Yeah, because you're 45 or 40. Something. You're 40, and so let's say up until 60, you have sex once a week.
Sure.
52 weeks in 1 year.
Yeah.
52 times 20, that's around 1,011.20, give or take, right? Let's just round it up. 1,200 times. Once a week sex. 1,200 sex. But that's assuming you do once a week.
Sure.
Because she'll probably be on a period and menopause. So you could take out 200 of it. So it's only 900. It's only 1,000 sex.
Right.
Or you could have unlimited sauces on everything.
I'll give up the sauce.
I'll give up the sauce too.
All right.
All right.
So we agree on the first question then.
Yeah, sauce. I mean, I think I like, but because it said all forms.
Yes.
So masturbation.
Yes.
Masturbation.
So no sexual
oral,
pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, we're humans.
The sauces are delicious. All right. Second.
All right. Number
Cheers.
2.
Look at you drunk,
Mr.
spilling already. All right.
I can do 10 of these.
What is your pet peeve?
My pet peeve. Do you have one?
I have a lot.
Okay, you go first since you already have one lined up.
So, on top of my head, because I have a lot of pet peeves. My first pet peeve: not returning your goddamn shopping cart after you're done. It is not hard for you to return your shopping cart back to, I don't even know what you call it, the designated zone. But the fact that people leave it out there laying because they can't be bothered to walk an extra minute.
Right. So is leaving the cart at an island not returning anything?
You should return it no matter where. I don't care if it's in an aisleway where it's blocked by the little parking curb. You should return it.
So even places that don't have like the return places, like, all over the parking lot, like, well, if it's a parking lot, it doesn't have like a return like designation area.
What places have you been to that does not have a return designated zone?
Let's just say. Let's just say it's very inconvenient.
Let's say that it's super inconvenient, and you're at Costco, and you have to go all the way to the end of the parking lot.
It's going to take
and
you
have to go all the way back to the front. At most, it'll be 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And my thing is, you're really going to be blocking up 2 parking spaces because you can't walk for 4 minutes. 4 minutes is not that much walking. And the way that people are being fat, they need that extra 4 minutes of walking. Sure. And so I don't like it when people bring the shopping carts, they don't return it because they're too lazy. Yeah. I think that's just a dick move to do. That's my first pet peeve. I always return
my shopping cart.
As you should.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just like following rules, I guess. So
no, it's just a common courtesy. It's like, dude, are you really going to leave it there because what if the wind blows and hits someone's car? That's another dick thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why not return it?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't like it if someone left the shopping cart next to your car and it hits yours.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's not much of a big pet peeve as mine, but I see where you're coming from.
No, it's common courtesy. There should be rules.
Sure.
We're not savages here.
For me, I guess my biggest pet peeve is, anything related with driving per se. The biggest one is last minute mergers. Like if you're driving on a freeway and you know your exit is coming, don't be the last minute merging in at the last second. Like be in your lane by the time your lane comes up or whatever you have to do.
No, that's a good one because you are going over 3 lanes. And you can't be bothered.
It's not your first rodeo, too. You've driven this many times. You should know.
No, that's true. No, it goes back to it's just common courtesy. Yeah. It's like, dude, don't put other people's lives at risk because you can't just take the next exit and add an extra 5 minutes to your drive. To me, that's just a very dick thing to do. Like, it's not hard because why should we take that risk because you were not paying attention?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think my second pet peeve is, there's so many. There's a lot of pet peeve.
What's like one from work? That's like a big one for you.
You read my mind. So one from work, god damn, there's so many. I would say it's not reading the emails because oftentimes people ask questions when the answer is in the email or not reading the chain of emails or going, just following along the context of it. So whenever I get a chain, I read from the bottom top because it tells you a story.
Go from the start.
Yeah. And so some people will just read the most immediate or preceding email and just go based off that, which fine, I get it. But nonetheless, when people still ask me questions, when the email clearly addresses it, that irks me.
Yeah.
And it tells me that you can't be bothered to read it thoroughly because you're lazy or reading is a skill. I don't know what it is. But that one is it's a waste of my time. There's too many people I know who, I don't know how they got the jobs, but reading is a skill, man. That's another pet peeve.
For me, it email related, but not necessarily reading it kind of thing, but sending out an email and then coming to your cubicle or office like 2 minutes later, asking if you read the email.
I know people like that too.
Bro, I have so many things I have to do. Like, what?
Well, they expect you to drop whatever you're doing to address it. Yeah. And to me, there's a fucking priority list here. Like, I can do it, but are you asking me to drop whatever I'm doing for you?
Yeah.
Because that seems like a you problem, not a me problem. I think another pet peeve of mine is, oh man, I think I wouldn't say this is a pet peeve. Maybe this is just, well, let's call it a pet peeve. I think it's how you treat floor level employees at like retail stores. So let's say that you have an issue and you're calling customer support, or you have a question and you are talking to a minimum wage employee at Target.
Sure.
And instead of, you're making a scene, you're getting angry at them because you're not getting what you want. But they do not have the authority nor the power to make any changes. They have to run up the chain of command. And to me, I never like it when people belittle or disrespect others just because they think that's how you need to be to get what you want.
Well, everybody has their power trip and stuff like that. I mean, they're doing that because they just want to have that power over somebody. So it's not, it's just a situation of, retail work that kind of power structure always happens,
Yeah.
Because, being as a former server, I always got that kind of treatment as well.
It's because I worked at a yogurt shop. I worked at a retail smoke shop, and there will always be people, right? Karens, or I don't even know what you call a male Karen, but they always complain about everything. A Ken. And so they complain about everything. And you're like, dude, I work minimum wage. It's not my shop. It's not my business. But even if I wanted to root for you, you're not making it easy for me to be on your side.
Yeah.
So now I don't even want to help you,
No, yeah. Yeah. Those people always annoy me. I want to see it out in the wild. How you feeling with 2 shots so far?
Well,
not feeling it yet?
No, not yet.
All right.
But what's another? I just thought of this right now. Sure. Another pet peeve of mine is you've been seeing those protesters who block the freeway.
Yes.
On the highway.
Yes.
And then they're in like, oh my God, like
sudden urge to.
It's like you're making a point to the wrong people.
Right. If you're going to anger them, they're not going to listen to you anymore.
Yeah,
so,
because now if someone was blocking the 405 and I'm trying to get somewhere and now I'm stuck there for 2 hours because of you.
Have you encountered that?
No.
Okay.
But I can see why people would run them over.
Right.
And it's like,
so you don't blame the people that have done it.
I don't. I really don't.
Really? Okay.
No, because it's like, dude, what if there's an ambulance there that needs to go somewhere?
Sure,
or what if your wife or whoever is pregnant and they need to be at the hospital?
Right.
Or what if there's some emergency and now you're an asshole because you're blocking?
Well, their whole reasoning is because, the inconveniences gets your attention. So this is...
Yeah, it gets my attention to not support you.
Right. Yeah,
now
they don't understand.
Yeah,
it got our attention, but it got our attention to no matter how much your statement is agreeable to not agree with it because of how you're addressing it.
No, it's true. And look, when people say, well, that's what Martin Luther King did, I'm like, well, you're not Martin Luther King. There's a big fucking difference. You are affecting the everyday working people.
Yeah.
I do not want to help you now.
Right.
Because nobody wants to be stuck on the 405 or 2 or 3 hours.
It's already bad enough as it is. So why add on to that? So
I don't know. But any more before we go on?
I don't have that many pet peeves as much as you. So
I have an anger issue,
just
apparently.
Being tardiness, I guess, to any kind of meeting. That's a big pet peeve of mine. But
What's
I'm sure
your limit?
If you're constantly tardy, then yeah.
But what's an acceptable tardy? 2 minutes? 5 minutes?
10 minutes is acceptable. Anything beyond that without...
But is 10 minutes where you say, okay, I notice it, but I'm okay with it? Or is 10 minutes still annoys you?
10 minutes, it's acceptable, but...
It won't bother you?
It does bother me, but it's acceptable.
So it still bothers you?
Yeah. Of course, 10 minutes. Just be mindful of everyone's time.
So you should show up 5 minutes before?
I always try to. Oh, wow. I'm always 5 minutes or try to be 5 minutes.
That's because you're Japanese though.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much. All right. Number 3.
All
right. Try not to spill this time. Cheers.
You didn't spill this time.
Not yet. All right. Question number 3.
It's been revealed that all the conspiracy theories you're into are true.
Uh-oh.
What now?
My life is over.
Well, which one What conspiracy theories do you believe now that if it was to be true? Like, name one.
I mean, simulation theory is one that not that I believe in, but that I'm interested in kind of thing. So if that's true, then our lifespan has been a lot longer than what we believe it to be, right? Or in the Matrix per se at that point.
Would you act differently? Would it be like nothing matters?
If I knew we're in the simulation, then yeah, I would definitely be trying to wake up or trying to get out of it.
Like the Matrix?
Like the Matrix, yeah.
So what's one conspiracy you believe? Not that you're interested in, but what you actually believe.
I mean, the 9/11 ones are very.
So let's say you find that to be true. Would it change your life, or would you act differently, or would it be the same?
Yeah, I mean, if that one came to be true, then it would mean that the U.S. had a thing in what happened around that day. So I will maybe look at U.S. completely differently. I mean, not that I already don't. So
I was gonna say nothing changes for you on that.
Since I'm already thinking that, but it'll confirm it at least for me. So I mean, I'm already in tune to thinking that it is true. So it wouldn't change too much of how my day to day would be.
I mean, I don't have many conspiracy theories.
It'll be a good, we haven't had a conspiracy podcast yet, but it'll be a good one to talk about. Because I have a lot.
I do believe that. I do believe one theory that I do believe is more on the corporate finance side. But, one thing I strongly believe is that these corporations do have a very strong influence and power in the government than we realize, right? Okay. So what a lot of people are concerned about, and rightfully so, is a symbiotic relationship between the government and the businesses where one relies on each other. But it becoming so reliant where they become one entity.
Yeah.
And so one concern is that, news media should be separate from the government because they should be able to report the news as is, unfiltered, and if need be, critical of their government entities. But when that news media becomes a spokesperson for the government, then we have a 1984 situation.
Yeah.
I believe that to some degree, we are already seeing that happening. Now, if it was to be revealed today, that it was true, I don't know if I would act any differently, but I would be more paranoid than I am right now.
Well, you wouldn't be working your normal day to day, right? I mean, if it came out to be that's true, then we're living in a very different situation where your lifestyle changes. You wouldn't be going to your 9 to 5. You wouldn't be.
I would still go to my 9 to 5.
Okay.
I think, let's be honest, right? If it was true, I would probably go for the strongest corporation and join that team. Because I'm an individual, so you naturally want to side with the strongest.
Sure.
Maybe that's not the most moral thing to do, but what can you as an individual do, right? So, I mean, the other alternative is you fight the system, but I think realistically, I would not be that strong to fight it.
Individually, yeah. You will need to gain, some kind of army of some sort if you were to fight the system. So you have to have enough of a convincing power to get people on your side. But
I mean, there's a lot of, you know more about conspiracy theories than I do, right. But that's one thing I believe in.
So I mean, my day to day wouldn't change just because I'm so invested or I'm so trapped in conspiracy theories already. Yeah. But if it was revealed to be true, then I think it would change my day to day. Like I wouldn't be going to my 9 to 5 anymore. Like if some of the conspiracy theories that I think of are revealed to be true, then for sure I would be living my life differently.
I think I'm trying to think what other conspiracy, because I really don't know too many conspiracy theories. Like I know JFK, 9/11.
It's fun. It's fun to get into. I mean, I only get into it just because they're, like stories, like reading a fictional book or kind of something. So in that sense, I get into it. I don't like put too much weight on it, whether it's true or not. Mm-hmm. I'll wait for that when that does happen, that this is, verifiably true. But until then, it's just like, oh, it's a fun thought to have kind of thing, but it will be frightening if it's revealed to be true though.
Well, I guess to follow up then, what is your second conspiracy that you believe in? Like after 9/11?
I mean, there's just so many. I mean, the mud flood, I guess, I don't know if you've heard of the mud flood theory, but it's just how our architecture of today is built on top of old architecture, meaning that the Noah's flood, that wiped away a civilization before. So there's all this old civilization that we built up on top of that, are being revealed, through.
Is this similar to like the Atlantic City? Atlantis?
The lost city of Atlantis.
Yeah. Is it like that or different?
In a similar sense. I mean, it's just lost civilization that nobody knows about. But then once you start, digging under like the cities of like London or like the Paris catacombs and stuff like that, you know, the underground like structures that, it interests me a little bit. I mean,
so if that was true, would it change your life?
Sure. I mean, it's like discovering God. Would that change your life?
Yeah, but
like discovering like your existence.
But that's not really a conspiracy theory.
Sure, but I mean, if you discover that your existence is different today than what you thought it was, would that change your life? Of course, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can't say how it will change my life, but of course it will change your life.
Because I feel like, if I knew that we were built on top of old civilization, I don't know if it would change my life personally.
Why not? Wouldn't it make you curious, like what civilization was before?
I mean,
you?
Sure, like it'll make me curious, but I don't think it wouldn't really make me wonder like, well, now I'm going to live my life differently.
Well, what if it's like a whole cycle of civilization that happened before you, and then that was taken away from you for whatever reason, like it was hidden from you for whatever reason, then that comes to realization later, true. And then you start thinking, okay, maybe I have a different purpose in life now. Like, why was this hidden from me? You start thinking on that kind of thought process.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right. Like, there's a reason why it's hidden from you. Then you start thinking, why?
Well, what if it was just naturally lost rather than hidden?
Well, I guess, but that's a different question, right? Like, why? If it's conspiracy that's naturally lost, that comes out to be hidden.
Wait, so that mud flood conspiracy is saying that it was purposely hidden?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it.
But
yeah, I could see that. Okay. No, I could see that.
Sure.
I didn't know what the actual theory
was. Well, even
was.
the simulation theory, right? If you find out that you're living in a simulation, doesn't that change your life? How you go your day?
That one I could see, right? Because then are we really individuals or are we all just programmed players?
Like why are we working 9 to 5s at this point? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, what's the cogs that we're churning?
I think if such conspiracy were revealed to be true, I think my first initial reaction would be denial. I think that would be everyone's reaction.
Sure.
I think it will be denial, then acceptance.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I cannot imagine a life, so I guess it's hard for me to say now how I would change. But I think part of me wants to believe that I would still continue living the same because, well, it's better to live an orderly fashion than a chaotic fashion, even if something was to be true, like a simulation. Because if a simulation was to be true, then are we better off just doing whatever we want with no rules, or should we continue to be law and order?
I mean, I think at that point you want to figure out how to get out of the simulation.
Right.
So you would change how you wouldn't be doing your regular living kind of lifestyle at that point.
Yeah.
You would be trying to break free.
That's true too.
All depends if you want to, what's the Matrix, the steak one where
the blue pill, red pill.
Yeah. Or, it's,
but I mean, he does have a point in that scene where it's like, I think, which one was it? The red pill shows you the truth and the blue pill lets you be ignorant.
Yes. Ignorant. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not brave enough to take the red pill. I would rather take the blue pill.
I'll always take the red pill.
You'll always take it?
Truth is important to me.
I don't know. I guess I have to balance it.
Sure.
Because it's if the truth is the truth worth knowing and opening the Pandora's box
To me, it is.
to you?
Yeah. To me, truth is very important.
I guess I don't like pain. Like I wouldn't want to suffer just to know the truth. I'll be curious, but would I be willing to say, all right, here's the truth. My life is upside down. And now you have to fight through all your struggles.
I think it's still worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not worth living a life that's a lie. At least to me.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm just trying to think it through, right?
Sure.
Because like everyone has different motives in life. And if what you're saying is that life doesn't matter and there's no meaning to it, then it's sort of like, well, I don't know if I want that for myself, you know? So, but it's hard because
It's
on
very
one hand,
subjective.
I can see the truth being important because who wants to be the man in a Plato's cave?
I think nobody wants to. I think you're a little bit fighting back a little bit too much. Like if you discover that your life is a lie, you would want to know the truth.
But how many people many people will sit here and say they want to know the truth, but how many really want it? That's what I'm saying. I think many people, when you really cut down to it, majority will say they want it, but very few people will actually desire it when it comes down to it.
Why though? Why would people not want to know what the truth is? For what reasons are you saying?
Because I think they don't want that suffering. They don't want that life upside down.
Why does truth equal suffering?
Because if what you're saying is everything that you've done in your life wasn't the case,
Right.
and it will turn you upside down.
Won't that turn into suffering though? If your life becomes a lie, won't that lie become suffering?
But you don't know if it is until you seek the truth. So
Right.
if you were to be living ignorant and in bliss, many people would choose the bliss and of ignorance.
Well, I mean, because they don't know any better.
Right. So then that's what I'm saying, right? If you were to sit people down and you were giving them the red pill and the blue pill,
Right.
and you were giving them the choice, people will sit here and say, well, of course I'll take the red pill. But when it actually came down to it, if you literally was able to give them such a pill, I think most people would be very hesitant and reluctant to choose the red pill.
Only because you have to know that the red pill equals suffering, but you don't know that.
I don't, but I think in most...
But if you're giving the choice of would you rather have the truth or a lie, which one would more people gravitate towards?
Most people would think they would choose the truth, and I think most people will. But
Right.
how many people would turn the clock back and go back to living a lie?
Right. So as soon as you find out that the truth is suffering, then maybe you'll have
Yeah.
people go back. But if you're always given the two choices of truth or a lie, most people will take the truth. If that's how it's presented to you.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't in hindsight say the truth is going to make you suffer. Then of course people will say, no, I don't want that. But if you're giving the option of truth and falsehood, most people will take the truth.
Right. But going back to it, I think I was saying that in this case, if a conspiracy theory that you believe turned out to be true, meaning that whatever it is, usually it implies that your life would be upside down, right? So let's say the simulation theory.
Sure.
Let's say that this was to be true. Then it implies that everything that you've done in this life was fake. It was artificial. So there is something bigger out there for you. But just like the Matrix, how many people would want to wake up and realize, okay, maybe this isn't the truth. I want to know what I am really out there am doing. I don't know if many people would pick that option if they were presented that. That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people would choose comfort of shelter.
You're going back to the hindsight question. Of course, if in hindsight, if you find out what it is you can go back. But if you're giving the option of, would you want the truth or would you want to be fed a lie? Most people will not want to be told lies.
Yeah.
But if you find out that the truth is going to be something that's going to hurt you so much, then maybe that's when you start thinking, okay, I don't want the truth anymore. But you have to know that beforehand.
Yeah.
So
I guess, part of me is, me personally, if I knew that this truth was to tell me everything, and if it was going to change my life, but let's say I didn't know that. I just knew if it was a truth or a lie. Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you. I'll probably pick the truth. But if it was something that it was a conspiracy theory that you're saying, hey, if you were to take this, then you'll know whether or not your life was artificial or not, like a simulation premise that you presented, I'd be kind of hesitant. You know, I think personally I'd be a little reluctant.
Really?
I think so. I think part of me
would be. Okay, so let me ask you this way. Why would you want to be in the dark on anything?
Sometimes it's better to deal with the devil you know than the ones you don't.
Is it just comfort?
I think it's comfort.
Yeah, so.
Because it's better to know, for some, I'd rather deal with something I know than I don't. And I think that uncertainty is what's hold people back.
Yeah.
Because we see this a lot even in our personal lives, right? Where you know what the right move should be, but a lot of people don't make it because of the uncertainty. And I think it's the same thing with this thought experiment is it's not a small uncertainty like switching a job. This is a big uncertainty because maybe this uncertainty, if I was to take the truth pill, would show me how much my real life is actually better in a simulation theory. But it could also show me that the world outside is terrible. We do not know. That's why, do I want to take that chance?
Sure. And
so I think
that's just how we differ. Like I would always think that you would want to be given the truth if you had the option. Yeah. Even if that truth hurts, the truth is still the truth. Like I do not want to live in a lie of deception. Yeah.
I think me personally, just without going back in circles, it's, even though it's a lie, if it's a comforting lie, sometimes that's better than the painful truth. Yeah. You know, and
I get it. I mean, that's why the whole question of red pill and blue pill exists, because there are people that will choose a blue pill. For me personally, I'll take the red pill.
Because I can't help think of it like you raise a cow and then you take it to the back and you kill it one day, but the cow doesn't know better. So every day it's a blissful ignorance. So which one is...
The cows know. I mean, they see the slaughterhouse. They see the cows lined up and that their friends don't come back. They're like, oh, something's going on.
But let's just say that one cow, it's not a corporate farm. It's just a mom and pop farm.
Sure.
You know, at the end of the day, without knowing the limitations of his intelligence, if I was a cow, would I want to know the truth that one day I'm just being bred to be slaughtered, or would I want to be ignorant and just die? And if you're truly asking this question, I would want to know, so I would have a fighting chance to get out of it if I can. I would not just want to be living in a life that has a destiny of being slaughtered if I have a sliver of a chance of fighting that destiny by knowing the truth. Yeah.
So that's where I differ.
All right. So moving on to our 1, 2, 3, fourth shot. All right.
Ooh. Are you feeling anything yet?
A little bit.
Okay.
If someone tells you, I love you, but you are not ready to reply the same, how do you respond?
Okay. Do you have experience in this?
No.
Okay.
No, well,
I do.
I personally never been in that situation where, because I've only been in one serious relationship, which is my current wife.
Yeah.
So when she says, I love you, I was ready to say, I love you back. Sure. But if I was to be in a situation where someone said, hey, I love you, but I don't feel that same way, I think I would respond. I think I would be truthful. I think I'm a very direct person. And one thing I don't like to do in a relationship, ironically, considering what we talked about, is lie. Yeah. So I would not like to lie to them about that relationship where I say, oh, I love you back, because I don't think that's the right thing to do. Yeah. I think that sets up a false pretense. I think it also, I don't want to say you're leading them on, but it sort of gives them a sense of expectations that's not really there.
Yeah.
And so, I would reply back and say, look, I'm not ready to say I love you back. I think that you need to give me some more time, but I appreciate the compliment. I don't know what you say, but I appreciate you saying that to me. I appreciate you opening up to me.
So it's hard to say you don't love them back when they do say it to you. So, I mean, I've had the experience, or experience in the past where somebody said that, you know, they love me and I didn't feel that way back to that person. So I did say I love you back just because I didn't know how to say no, or I don't feel that way back to that person.
But that's your half Japanese side.
It is. So, I mean,
Yeah. But what
I agree with you that you shouldn't say it back unless you truly feel it, because, you know.
but then you would personally say, I love you back.
Right. Just to not hurt the
See
feelings.
the irony. The last question you want the truth. But just
Right. But I mean, that's because I want my own personal truth. But, you know, if it doesn't hurt, if it, you know, save emotional hurt from the other person, then I will lie to them maybe.
I mean,
White lies, you know, if it saves the trauma.
that's a serious lie.
I guess so. I mean, but what if you eventually will love them?
But you don't know that. That's assuming that everything is on the trajectory to love and marriage and stuff. Because let me exaggerate this. You say I love you back, and in 1 or 2 years down the road, she starts saying, honey, what do you think about getting married? But you're still in I'm trying to develop I love you stage.
Yeah.
So you but if you were told her the truth, she would be like, oh, maybe he's not at that stage of the relationship where he wants to think about children and marriage.
Yeah.
So now you just dug yourself a deeper hole. So then what do you say to that? Where is a red line where you tell them the truth?
Well, I mean, you don't go that forward if you don't really truly feel that way. So I mean, you can.
No, but sometimes you get stuck in a relationship and you're just there because it's comfortable.
Sure. Well, then you're just weak spirited at that point.
I mean, you didn't say you didn't tell her the truth the first time.
But I mean, I wouldn't also ask her to marry me if I didn't.
No. What if she brings up the conversation and the topic of marriage to you? Right. She says, "Oh, what do you think about getting married?"
Yeah.
Because she's under the pretense that you love her.
Yeah. Difficult question. I mean, I wouldn't get myself in that position to be.
But you did, because you said I love you back.
Right. But I mean, that's who knows. Then no, I wouldn't say I love you back then. If it leads to that, then I wouldn't say it. But
you said it in your past relationships.
I did, but it never got to that point. So
you rolled the dice and you got lucky every time.
Well, I only had to do it once. My last relationship.
Was that your most recent one?
That was my Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because I think you're right. You don't want to hurt the other person. But if you truly are in a relationship, I think open communication is healthy. It's painful, but it's necessary, right? Because one thing is, without open communication, without honest communication, then your relationship, you're just kind of stuck there. And it's going to be coming to an end. But the fact that one is not being open about it is you're just prolonging it. So it's kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, I'm not saying that you not saying I love you will end the relationship, but at least it's better than lying to her.
True.
You know? And so if someone was to say, you know, I love you, and I think one thing I've done is when someone said, I love you, I never responded. Like, it wasn't.
Isn't that worse though?
Maybe it is, but sometimes a silence is an answer.
Sure.
And I've never said it. It had nothing to do with like my personal, it wasn't with my girlfriend or wives or nothing like that. But it was more like, you know, sometimes you see a family member and they say, I love you. And I personally, if I'm not ready, I don't say it back. And it's not because I dislike them. It's just I'm not at that stage. And I think every word that you say, it matters.
Yeah.
You know,
are you an affectionate person to begin with?
I am. I think I am.
I'm not. So.
Well, when you say affectionate, in what ways? Because we express it in different ways.
Sure. I mean, are you a person that generally says that? Or?
I'm not a verbally affectionate person where I will go up to people and say, oh, I miss you. I'm glad we get to spend time. Mm-hmm. Like, my love language is not, I forgot what it is. It's not compliments, but it's not verbal, right? My love language is typically acts of services, where I do things for you, or it's physical touch, where it could be sexual, or it could just be non-sexual, where like I put my arms around you, or I'm open to you.
Right.
So I tend to be very touchy with people if I like them. If I don't like you, then I'll be like, oh, fuck off, you know? So if So I'm not really one to express my love by saying I love you, but if I really care about you, I will go out of my way for you. So it's like, hey, you need help, I'll help you. But if I don't like you and you say you need help, good luck. I hope you find your solution.
See, I'm the opposite. I will always help for the small things, or like the small, I guess, affectionate kind of things. But the true love is where I have a
well, do you know what your love language is?
No, but if I had to guess, it probably is like acts of service or reaffirmation, I guess.
There's words of affirmation.
Yeah.
So on top of my head, I think there's 5 or 6. There's gifts, like you giving gifts, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, and there was 2 more.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably words of affirmation.
So you prefer like, hey, good job, David.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because when I don't get that, that's when I feel like it's not there kind of thing.
I guess we're opposite, because to me, I don't really care what you say to me, but if you do things for me, then it's kind of like that saying, right? Actions speak louder than words. But not that it's always true, but that's my preference.
Well, so what if you don't get the action part? Does the words matter then?
I think if I know that's how your love language is, then I will come to that conclusion, be like, okay, this is his way or her way of showing that they care about me.
Yeah.
So if now that I know you are words of affirmation. So if you are the type to say like, oh, Peter, good job, or I'm glad you're my friend, then I'll be like, okay, he cares about me.
Sure.
But without knowing that, I wouldn't judge you. I just wouldn't know. So I think it just depends on the individual. Oh, quality time. That's the last one. So like I mentioned, I prefer acts of service and physical touch. That's how I like to receive it, and that's how I like to give it to. Yeah. So that's my love language in giving and receiving. But yeah, I think if someone was to say I love you and you're not ready for that, I don't know if there's a diplomatic way of letting them down without hurting their feelings.
If you're not saying it back at that point,
I think that is harsh too.
Are we breaking up? that's the usual conversation that follows, right?
I don't know. That's hard.
Right.
Because
if somebody's saying it to you at one point and you're not ready to say it back, like that person's, obviously saying it to you. So they either,
like they're opening up to
the relationship's, been ongoing for that long that they're saying that to you already. And then if you don't feel that towards, that same feeling back, then, you should know where this relationship is standing at this point. So it should be like an eye-opening test at that point. If you're receiving the words, but you're not ready to say it back, then that's
true. But I think it's still important to say how you really feel, because if they really did love you and if they really did care about the relationship, they'll still work with you.
Yeah.
I don't think they will bail. If they bailed out on the first sign of trouble, then that relationship was not very resilient. So
it's just an awkward question, that's for sure.
But I don't know I'm trying to think of a diplomatic way of how you would say it without hurting their feelings.
You can't. That's why it's a controversial question, because there's
there's got to be a diplomatic way
to resolve it without breaking up.
No, there's got to be. We're just not creative people.
Maybe. But this is why I just say I love you back when I'm said to you. So
you pussy. Oh my God. No, there's got to be. You can say I love you. No, you can't say I love you. No,
right? That's the whole question to this thing. You can't. What are you supposed to say back if you don't feel?
Because they love you, but you don't love them back. So you can say, maybe you can sidestep it. You can say, I appreciate you in my life. Or does that sound less genuine?
No, that is to them saying that, yeah, this is the breakup words. If you're saying that back instead of.
So anything but I love you is a breakup word.
Of course. If you're saying to that person and you're not receiving those words back, then something's off here. No?
Damn. No, but breakup is a nuclear threat.
Right, but if one person is saying I love you and the other person is genuinely thinking I don't know what to say back, then that relationship is off key. Like it shouldn't be going any further.
But what if one is just slower?
I guess.
Like, you're pretty slow at taking things.
Right, but I mean, if
But what if you really like that person, but you just know that it takes you a while to rev up?
Well, how long are we talking about? Is this like 6 months? Is this like a year?
Okay.
Is this like 2 days?
All right. So let's say the first scenario is 6 months.
Sure. If 6 months, then
Of course, that's too early, right? But what about 3 years?
I don't know if 6 months is too early. Actually,
6 months to say I love you?
yeah,
That's not too early?
I don't think so.
Okay.
6 months is a while that you guys are dating at this point.
But no, because it's 6 months of but it depends how much time you're spending.
Sure, but 6 months of being in a relationship.
I know, but what if you're only meeting once a week over 6 months?
Sure, yeah, you should.
No, it's
you should
not.
know. You should know within half a year how much you want to be.
No,
with this person
because
now.
if you're only meeting once a week, let's say for 1 hour, that's only 24 hours.
Okay, maybe because you only had your wife as your one partner.
Hey,
you have these
all
kind
I'm
of
saying
thoughts.
is I've only been in 2 relationships, so I have a 50% chance.
I'm starting to see
here.
this right now, Peter.
Yeah, but I struck out 100%,
Sure.
right? I got it right on the second
I
time.
guess
How many relationships you been?
I've been in 4.
Yeah, who's winning? See? Got married. You're still single.
Sure.
You're 50 years old.
Right. And I say I love you back when people say it to me. So
See, I didn't say I love you. You got to do the opposite. You got to do what would Peter do?
yes.
All right.
All right. Wait. Before we go on, I gotta pee.
All right.
Question number 5.
Question number 5. Cheers.
Cheers. He's slurring it all yet? He's slurring it all yet?
Not yet. What is your poor moment?
My poor moment. What is my poor moment? I mean, for the longest time, I would only fill my gas tank with $20 at a time, just because I could never afford a full tank at any given time.
That's not. Is that poor?
I mean, I felt poor. I mean, I'm like,
I would imagine that you maxed out your credit card would be a poor moment.
is that a poor moment, or is that just you don't have controllable measures?
I feel like that's a poor moment.
I guess.
I think that's a poor moment.
Like, what is your poor moment then?
I want to say I never had a poor moment, but my poor moment, damn. When did I feel poor? It's been a while.
I guess playing poker for rent was for break or make it moment was a very poor moment for
That's
me.
not poor, David. That's just degeneracy. That's straight up degeneracy right
But hey,
there.
I made it.
Did you make it?
Yes.
Wait, what was your rent at the time?
$650.
$650?
Yeah. This is like a decade ago.
God damn, $650 rent. Can you imagine for one bedroom?
1 bedroom, but I mean, a shared apartment back in the day. This is still California.
God damn.
So $650 is very, very cheap for,
Oh, I know a good story for a poor moment.
Okay, let's
So back when I was in college, this was 2009, 2010. Del Taco was running a Taco Tuesday promotion. So you get 3 tacos for 89 cents. And me and my friend, we would go by every Tuesdays because I would go to his house and play video games.
Yeah.
We would get 12, 15 tacos. That's $5 to $6 after taxes. And keep in mind, minimum wage was like $8.25 around that time. And so we placed an order. We got the food. And I remember ordering, I don't know, let's say 10 tacos. And it was like 5 hard shell, 4 soft shell. Mm-hmm. And they messed up my order and they shorted me on something. Like they only gave me like 9 tacos. And then I got mad about it and I threw a fit because I can't believe they gypped me on 1 taco and stuff like that.
Right.
But I was thinking about it. It's like, damn, like the fact that I got mad over 33-cent tacos, less than 33 cents, like 30-cent tacos, like That's some
Hey,
real
man,
poverty
the
shit.
principle of,
I know, but at the time I was also doing options. So I was like, I'm okay with losing like thousands of dollars, but I'm not okay with
Wait, how
losing
much did you
30 cent
lose?
tacos.
How much did you lose overall?
I think at the time I lost up to like 10,000. So I'm like, can
so
I really be
33
mad
cents.
about this? I'm like, that is some real poverty mentality
it's
right
because
there.
you lost the $10,000 that you're extra.
I did not think about my options. It was more like, hey, I ordered 10, I should get 10, but I only got 9. But that was more, one of my more sad moments in life. I mean, it was delicious. So but I didn't go back, even though it was like a 2-minute drive, because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go through that hassle. Because what are you going to do? Are you going to go drive back, show them the receipt, and open up the taco bag?
If you're poor, you would.
I guess I wasn't that poor. No, but I do remember when I was growing up, I think I was a kid back then. I was like 5 or 6. My parents, because they're a first generation immigrant.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really afford to, I don't want to say they couldn't afford to keep me, but I guess it was really hard for them to like raise me because they were working like late night shifts and nobody would be home to feed me and stuff like that.
Right.
So they sent me to live with my aunt for like 2 years, and they kind of like rotated around. So like they would send me to different like family relatives to live and have them take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was definitely, I didn't think anything out of, like, to me, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. But then, like, growing up, like, can you imagine, like, oh, you can't take care of your kids, so you ship them off to a family relative so they can help provide for you and feed you? Like, that's definitely a poor moment. But I mean, when you're an immigrant, you don't care about that. You're just trying to survive.
True.
But I was definitely, I didn't grow up with money, but I didn't grow up without money, if that makes sense. Like, I was teetering on the board of having just enough and not having enough.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't the rich people, in school.
Like, I was getting by. Like, my parents were getting by. Sure. So I think my parents definitely had some more poor moments where I don't know who it was, but I remember when I was a kid, they were filling up their grocery cart, and I think that someone was trying to hide food or something like that. And so, like, I guess the security camera or security guard, they saw what we were doing, and they like pulled us aside, and someone was crying. Like, I was really a kid. Okay. But I think the general premise traumatic. Of it was there was a shopping cart full of items, and maybe we were like hiding 10 items, like food or stuff.
Right.
And then like we put it back in or something like that, and they caught us for it. Or the other poor moment too was, I remember this one. My mom was like buying groceries, and her card got rejected. So we had to put everything back away, and we could only buy 1 or 2 cards.
That sucks.
That's a poor moment. Yeah. But like at the time, I wasn't like embarrassed or anything, because I just remembered like, oh, right. The card that
you
got
knew
declined.
what it was.
Yeah, I just like, oh, we just can't afford it. Actually, shit. Now that I'm talking about it, it's all coming back to me. All these poor moments are coming back to me. Another poor moment was when I would say to my mom, like, oh, can we get Carl's Jr.? Because, at the time, fast food was a luxury. And she said, my mom was...
It still is. I mean, McDonald's today is like $18 for a value meal.
At the time, you don't know any better, right? Because you're a kid. So like, but my mom she's a very direct woman. And she told me, she was like, oh, we can't afford that. And I just say, okay. But then like, I remember like, whenever we got McDonald's or Carl's Jr., that was a luxury for me. Yeah. To me, that was like, damn, like I'm eating good tonight, because it was a very special occasion. Now it's different, right? Because now my parents are settled and I'm making my own money.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid growing up, it was a very
poor moment.
So that's my poor moments. Yeah. Yeah. Not a fun time, but you don't know better when you're a kid, because you have nothing to be relative to.
This is true. I mean, it's hard for me to think of like all the poor moments. I'm sure I have a lot more if I, think back on my life a lot, because let's face it, I'm not rich. So there has to be a lot of incidents. I just can't think off the top of my head, man. I felt really poor in this moment in my life, but
you didn't feel poor with the credit card debt?
I mean, everybody has credit card debt though. It's just bad choices that you're making, not that you're rich or poor or anything. You're just like, I have this plastic card that allows me to, you know, purchase things without, you know, thinking too much of the consequences. And that's why I racked up debt. Not because I was poor.
Wait, so your family, your parents was, because I know that your mother is an immigrant, but even though she married your father, you guys were relatively like not that poor, like middle class.
Yeah, I would say middle class growing up, but I mean, we weren't well off, but we weren't like, you know, in poverty or anything.
Like not food stamp or nothing like that.
I wouldn't say we were at food stamp at one point, but I think we were getting governmental assistance at one point in our life. Especially when I was like a toddler and my parents are still freshly married and stuff like that.
But you never had like a moment where you'd say like, damn, that's some poverty shit.
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I guess that just means I'm relatively, you know what we call that? I guess.
We call that white privilege. And we call that white privilege.
I'm Asian, so they Asian privilege.
We call that Mormon privilege. But I feel like, I don't know, because to me, like poor moments is like different for everyone.
Yeah,
like
very true. Subjective.
I think the poor moment for me has always been when I wanted to do something, but I could never do it. So if I wanted to provide, not that I can't now, but if I wanted to provide and I'm unable to, that's when I feel shit. And that's when I feel like, God damn, I'm poor.
Well, living in California, I definitely feel poor moments all the time because it's so hard to afford things out here. So,
I mean, but regardless of what state it is, right? Because even if you lived in like Utah or Alabama, like everyone's going to have a different poor feeling.
Sure.
And so I remembered I stayed in Oregon with my cousins I would go there every summer when I was a kid, like I was middle school, and I would stay with them for a month. And it's not necessarily like a poor moment, but I could see that the level of disparity between us, right? So they had their own homes, they had their own business, they had their own cars, things of that nature. And, you know, we rented, my dad was working as a chef, and, you know, we had cars, but different levels of cars. They were definitely like far ahead of the curve. And I never felt ashamed of my class. It's nothing like that. But it was more of the realization that, oh, if they wanted something, they can buy it. While if my parents or I wanted something, we had to save up for it.
Right.
And I think that's when I was more like, oh, not necessarily that this is a poor moment, but there is a difference in class. There is a difference in wealth here. And it kind of made me realize, and I became more grateful now that I'm an adult. I became more grateful for my parents where they worked with what they were given.
Sure.
And I'm glad that they never did anything terrible. Like they didn't get into a huge credit card debt. They didn't go into bankruptcy. You know, they didn't do anything crazy. And I'm like, you know, at least that's one less thing for me to worry about. They survived with what they were given with. So it's not necessarily a poor moment. But it's just more like, oh, you know, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Class struggles. I don't really know what the term is I'm looking for.
Right.
But I'm also 5 shots in.
No, yeah, I'm definitely
you know, but
hard to keep a train of thought going right now. So
it's my yeah, no,
it's okay.
No,
we weren't that poor, Peter. That's all it is. Like we're trying to think of our poor moments, but we just don't have that much struggles.
I was definitely poor, relatively speaking. I think I wasn't. So I should clarify, right?
Well, there's U.S. poor and there's poor. We were not poor. Right.
I wasn't poor right. Because I was definitely U.S. poor, but not poor.
Right.
But then just, you know, to answer the question, what is my poor moment? I think just to reiterate that story, the poorest moment has been my mom loaded up the shopping cart. Her card got declined, and we had to take away all. And it was a big fucking shopping cart.
Yeah, no, that's
and we only picked 2 items, and I was like,
"What were the 2 items?"
I think it was like orange and meat. And I was like, "God damn,
Essentials,
we're poor."
at least.
No, it was at Sam's Club. I remember that much. But then it's that level of I wasn't embarrassed because I didn't know better. But my mom was definitely my mom was definitely embarrassed. She was like, okay,
especially because you're trying to provide for your family and you have to return that kind of thing. So that's when it hits you the most.
Yeah, and I don't think she ever went on food stamp. I think that was a more surprising thing. I'm pretty sure food stamp was around then, but she never went on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, all these people they don't need food stamp.
Okay. All right. Let's not get too controversial.
All right.
Cheers.
Look at you spilling over there. Look at that. You spilled right there.
5. This is number 6 shot.
All right. You can read this one.
All right. Let's see.
These shots gets more disgusting as it goes by.
What is it that you keep wanting to smell despite the fact that it doesn't smell particularly good?
What do I want to smell that doesn't smell so good? Like, what do I keep coming back to?
Yeah, what is an addictive smell that you have that most people will say that's foul smelling?
I'm not really a smelling person, but
I mean, mine's a common one that a lot of people agree with.
Your belly button?
No. Okay. I don't know what a belly button smells like, but mine's gasoline. So a lot of people like the smell of gasoline.
Who smells gasoline?
I mean,
Wait,
I just...
when would you ever have the opportunity to smell gasoline?
When you're filling up your gas.
How are you going to smell the gas? Like, well, you just put your nose at the nozzle?
You don't smell gas when you're at a gas station?
No, I don't.
How bad is your smell?
My sense of smell is not that strong.
Okay, there you go then.
Yeah.
But yes.
I would have, if you said fart, I would have believed that. Like, some people like to smell their own farts.
Yeah, your own fart, right? You never like smelling the farts of other people.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Is that the correct answer?
That should be the correct. Yeah,
that's
because
that's my answer.
the thought process that goes to your head is, okay, this came out of somebody's butt. So that's why
some people
why. But knowing that it came out of your own butt, that's why you don't hate your own smell of your fart.
But why would you smell your own fart and be willing to smell it again, but not someone else's? It's the same methane.
That's okay. I don't like to smell my own farts, so that's not a question for me, Peter. But for the people that have that thought process, I don't know why.
You don't like to smell your own fart?
I mean, I don't hate it, I guess.
Do you like it when it's more sulfuric or less sulfuric?
Okay, that never crosses my mind.
But you know what sulfuric fart smells like, right? It smells like very strong eggs.
Yeah.
So you like it more eggy or less eggs?
Well, of course you don't want, smelling farts. So if I can have a less smelling fart, then that will be my answer.
Really? But you're okay with gasoline?
Yes.
Why is gasoline more okay than farts?
Well, the question was, what's a smell that most people...
I'm just curious now. Like, why are you okay?
It's not that I love the smell of gasoline, but it's a smell that most people will be off-put that I don't...
I know, but you go back to it,
that
right?
I don't particularly find that off-putting.
But you go back to it.
I don't go back to it. It's not some smell that I'm like, I crave for.
No, but the question was, what do you keep smelling?
Sure.
Even after you smelled it.
Yeah.
So gasoline. You're saying you smell gasoline after you smelled it once, right?
Yeah.
But you don't do that for farts. Why is gasoline okay and not farts okay?
I don't know. That's the whole point of the question. Like, it shouldn't, but the fact that it is, that it is.
I like to smell my own fart.
Do you like to smell other people's farts?
It depends.
When is there ever a time that you like smelling other people's farts?
So like if my wife farted.
You like smelling her farts?
I don't mind it.
Okay.
Like it really depends. So here, look.
This is definitely six shots in kind of.
Like when she poops, it smells. But when she farts, it doesn't smell. But she'll
ever?
Statistically,
okay.
on average, her poop is very stinky.
Yeah.
And then her fart is not so stinky.
Okay.
But she'll say something like, oh, don't go in the bathroom. It smells. I'm embarrassed, right? I'm like, move, bitch. I got things to do, right? Like, I got to get ready. I got to brush my teeth. And like, I'll smell it. It's like, oh, it's not so bad. But she thinks it's bad. But maybe it's because I like the smell. I don't know.
Well, everybody thinks their own fart and poop
But this
smells
is her
bad.
poop smell.
I know, but if you ever notice that your poo or fart is being smelled by somebody else, you would think that it smells bad, right? That's your thought process.
Normally?
Yeah.
Okay,
course.
yes, normally.
Yeah. Like
Because like if you pooped and I went in the bathroom right after you, like it wouldn't bother me.
that's because it's you, but I'm sure it'll bother other people, depending how bad it smells.
Oh, you remember when? Because I used to work with you, and like someone will poop in the men's bathroom and they will leave. We know who this person is. I'm not going to say their name, but he has some really smelly poops. And then like when you sit down and the seats are warm.
So this is one thing. This is the one difference between me and you, Peter.
Look,
I don't poop at work.
no, but if you have to go, you have to go.
I don't.
Dude, are you really going to hold it for 8 hours?
I never pooped at work before.
Never.
Never in my life.
But you have to go.
I will go home if I have to poop at
You
work.
would drive home for 30 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes and come. And you would waste almost 45 minutes just to poop at home.
If I have to poop, yes. But
when you could do it right at work, which is 2 minutes.
I'm also very good at not having to poop at work. So
How do you not poop at work?
I have good bowel movements.
No, I mean, I have good bowel. I go once a day, but I have to poop at work.
Okay, why? If you only have to go once a day, why do you choose to do it at work?
That's just when my body naturally decides to take a shit. But this was also at a time when we were running out of paper towels because of COVID.
Right. So I know people that love to poop at work, because they like being paid while they're being pooping.
And you don't get to use your toilet paper.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know the people that have that thought process, but that's just not me.
Like when you poop, do you put on the toilet seat cover?
Yes.
Is that normal?
I don't know, but I rarely have to do it since I don't poop in public places too often. All right, next question. Peter, you're getting a little weird right now.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you have to poop at work, you should just poop at work. And if the seats are warm, it's like you don't have to worry about cold seats.
Yeah. No, emergency cases, yes, I agree with you, but I just never had an emergency case yet.
Like to me, I don't think poop smells that bad. Like I think like cow manure smells worse than human poop.
Right.
But
this is why this question exists, Peter. Like you will smell a smell that most people don't want to smell, and that's poop for you.
No, but listen, look, David, you know what's actually a really bad smell?
Not gasoline.
Not gasoline. It's not even fart. You know the fat, oil, grease interceptors at restaurant?
Sure.
And so
I've never smelt it, but sure.
Oh, so my mom, she used to have a chicken shop, like a Louisiana fried chicken. And once a month she would have to empty it because, she was cheap at the time. Oh my God. You open that thing up to take out all the grease and stuff. 100% it smelled like puke. You're like, it was bad.
I'm glad I never had to smell that.
No, dude. And then you just see all the grease, right? It's like orange and some off color. It's like reddish. And then you just see the grease coming up and it splatters over clothes and you just smell that puke. It doesn't even smell like, when you worked at a restaurant, because you're a waiter and they do like fried tempura or fried food, your clothes smells like fried stuff, right? Like oil. Sure. But it doesn't smell like that. It smells like puke. It smells like someone just threw up on you.
So this is a smell that you like going back to?
No.
So why are you bringing this up?
I'm bringing that up because one, I'm 6 shots in. But number two, when I think about fart compared to that fucking rotten grease, I don't even know what that thing is. It's like smelling flowers.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So like when someone poops and I come in, like it's not so bad.
Sure. Because you had the experience of smelling grease traps that smell like farts.
I still didn't mind smelling farts even before that experience. So I don't know.
I mean, but it seems like this is just you thing.
Is it just a me thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I would still poop at work though.
I don't.
I don't get why you're so poop shy.
I am poop shy.
Are you? Oh, you are poop shy.
Yes.
But you can't be poop shy.
All right, next question.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Don't spill now.
That was 7?
7.
All right. Question number 7. What do you think the first person to milk a cow was actually trying to do?
What the first person
milking a cow? What was he trying to do?
He was sucking on it, of course. What? Why would you tug on it if you're not? Because it looks like tits, right? So you're trying to suck on it.
I guess the question is, who decided drinking milk was a good idea to begin with?
Men.
Because it came out of.
Because it looks like tits.
Well, I guess it's natural. I guess it is natural selection, right?
But how is that natural selection?
Or natural?
You had a horny guy who's on a farm, and he was like, "Oh, you know what? Like, I can't get laid, so let me just suck on this titty-looking thing." right?
Oh,
I mean,
man, these
look,
questions are
no, but
getting-
David, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Wait, what was your response right now?
Because you're saying, what was the first person thinking of when they decided
what was their thought process of milking a cow?
Yeah, he was probably horny.
My question was, what was the thought process of even drinking milk? Like, why would you see
No,
this
but
white
you didn't know
liquid?
that milk came out of it. So that implies, why would the first person knew the milk came out only after he decided to tug on it really hard?
Sure.
So then the question is, why did they tug on it? I'm saying they tugged on it because that guy was horny. Probably thought it was a nipple. And he was sucking on it. And I was like, oh.
It is a nipple.
Yeah, I know. So he was like, oh, I can't get laid, so let me get the next best thing. And they said,
I don't know if that's
nutritious liquid came
I
out.
don't know if that's how it worked out, but
How? Okay, then why did they do it? What's your thought process?
why they milked the first cow?
Yeah, why did the first person, why did they milk it? Why did they decide to tug on that long thing?
Well, because, I mean,
They didn't know milk came out of it.
yeah, as a baby, you drink your mother's tit. I mean,
Yeah,
milk
but
came out of
you're
that.
a baby. You're not going to have that memory. So but why would you think milk comes out of that thing?
Because it probably easily came out. You tugged on it and milk came out.
I know, but that's the question. Why would the first person ever bother to think to try that?
Well, because it was probably a happy accident. They were like, oh, playing around,
there
like,
was-
shoot.
It was not. They were horny. They wanted to suck on
Okay,
that thing.
fine. We'll go with that answer. If you're so adamant about that, Peter, we'll go with that
Look,
answer.
well, you give me a better explanation, David.
I don't know why the first cow.
Yeah, because you know,
decides to milk
you
it.
just don't want to verbally say that they wanted to suck on them titties.
Jesus, you know this is YouTube still, Peter, right?
It's okay. We're only at 36 subscribers as of today.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, maybe they thought like, oh, okay, like it's a woman. It looks like a woman's thing. So maybe if they tug on it, milk will come out. Maybe. But, or just, open your mind for a second.
Okay, open your mind.
They were sexually frustrated and that's the way. Because if you think about most technological advances.
So why do they milk only a cow and
No,
not anything else?
Well, that's why in like those Russian mountains, they milked a goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, that looks like a titty too. And they milked it.
Okay.
Right? Because you can milk a goat, right? You know this, right?
Well, you can milk anything, I hear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, why do people do
So
it?
why are we only milking cows?
Huh?
Why are we only milking cows
Like right now or in general?
in general?
Because I don't know why we're only milking cows, but they milk goats. They milk, okay, what do they milk? Goats? Cows? Well, what else has titties underneath that?
I think everything has a titty.
Like what?
All living,
Like dogs?
yeah, they have titties.
Do cats have titties?
Yes.
Like did the milk come
Have
out
you
of it?
not seen?
Oh, pigs have titties too.
Yes. Yes. All living things have titties.
But they're not big enough to be like
Milked?
Yeah, you can't suck on them thing.
Yes. You're correct, Peter. I don't know what the first person was thinking when you decided to milk a cow, but
It was sexual
he was
frustration.
correct, and we have milk today because of it.
I know, but aren't you curious? Like, look, if you had to pick one truth out of all your conspiracies or the milk, which one would you pick? I pick the milk.
The fact that they had a commercial and they're saying "got milk" makes me question how good milk is actually good for you now, because they pushed it so hard.
I'd be curious to know who decided to I want to know what that person was thinking of when they said, let's milk that titty.
Yeah. What is the answer? That's the whole point of this question was.
No, that's what I'm saying.
get to this answer.
I'm saying the answer is sexual frustration, David.
I don't know if that's the answer.
Well, what would your answer be?
Not on a cow. Like you wouldn't want to.
So what would your answer be?
I mean, they wanted to drink milk.
But they don't know milk came out of it. That's what
Why
we're
not?
saying.
You don't know that,
Dude,
You saw milk come out of your mom's tit, so why not come out of a cow's tit?
but you don't remember
But
milk
then
come out
my
of it.
question is, why would you think that drinking milk is good for you? Like, just because something came out of it,
You're
why would you
going
drink
away
it?
from it. The question is, why milk the titties? That's what I'm saying.
Good question.
Why would you think tugging on them would come milk out?
Man, this is going to be an interesting episode.
No, but it's a legitimate question, right?
I guess.
It's legitimate when you're 7 shots in.
All right, let's go for number 8.
Oh my God, David, just because you have employment with a corporate overlord. All right, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, It's getting there. All right, question number 8. Will you be humiliated or pleased if anyone asks you to go to the website you most often visit?
Shit, what website do I go visit often?
I mean, mine's probably a website that everybody visits a lot. So,
Pornhub.com.
mm-hmm.
But would you be complimented or humiliated?
I mean, who doesn't love porn? I mean, is it?
Does Mormons love porn?
I guess. Okay, it's not really Pornhub, but sure.
Is it spankbang.com?
Right.
Or is it Xvideos?
Reddit is my site that I go to a lot.
I thought it was Pornhub.
Is that your site?
Huh? No, Pornhub, they did a great purge, so they got rid of all the good amateur videos.
No. Is that what happened with Pornhub?
Yeah, it's a shame.
So what is your one site that...
Oh, you were going to say something.
No, mine was Reddit.
Oh, yours was Reddit?
Yeah.
I thought you said your aunt.
My aunt?
Yeah.
Why would... What?
No, I don't know. That's what I was going to say. You can finish your aunt's story.
No, Reddit.
Okay. I misheard you. I'm 8 shots in. Reddit is your site. I think my site would be... damn, what site do I visit a lot?
Like Wall Street Journal or something? Or... Stock exchange?
Maybe a porn site.
Porn site? Okay.
Maybe a porn site.
So you would be humiliated then?
I don't know if I will be. But I mean, it's like what you said. Like everyone watches porn.
This is true.
Who doesn't watch porn?
I mean, ultra religious people?
No, they definitely watch porn.
This is true.
You know, like all the people who are against gays and they turn out to be gay. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know what I'm true.
I'm just trying to keep this episode from being able to publish, and you're teetering so much towards let's try not get this episode published.
No, it can be published. Okay. But look,
careful with what you say, Peter.
No, it's okay. Think about it.
Yeah.
You're Mormons.
Yes.
How many of them watch porn?
I don't know.
You know.
I do. Anyways, what was the question?
What website?
Yeah, I answered. Mine was Reddit. And your answer is?
Well, I'm trying to think. What website do I visit most? It's a toss-up between... No, I don't want to say Reddit because I don't visit Reddit that often. It's really a toss-up between... Shit, I really don't know. Let's just say porn site. I think I visit porn site a lot.
So would you be humiliated if that's...
I don't know if I'd be humiliated.
I mean, that's true. Like I said, everybody watches porn, so it's not something to be ashamed of in 2024.
It depends what kind of porn.
Okay, what porn are you into, Peter?
Normal porn. Nothing that gets me in jail. Let me just say that. All right. So it doesn't land me in jail.
This is definitely not an episode that's going online. Jesus.
No, it's okay. Don't be like that. Why are you like that? Why would you think that this would be taken offline?
I don't know. I'm drunk. I'm definitely drunk.
You're not drunk. You're only 8 shots. This is not even 8 full shots.
So
this is technically half a shot. So you're only...
So what is your answer to the sites?
There's a lot of porn sites I visit.
It doesn't have to be a porn site, Peter. It's just a site that you don't want, that you often go to, that it's...
I know, but I often go to a porn site.
Well, let me read the question again. What are you...
Actually, I do...
Wait. Will you be humiliated or pleased if anyone asks you to go to the website you most often visit?
I think I'll be
pleased.
If I have to pick one, maybe pleased.
What is your favorite website?
Probably a porn site.
Which porn site?
And
why?
Shit, what do I...
You dug this hole, my friend.
No. I'll answer it. If I had to pick, I would say xvideos.com.
Xvideos? Yeah. What is xvideos.com?
It's a porn site.
Okay. Why is that your favorite?
They really don't have ads. Dude, you don't understand. There's nothing worse when you go to a porn site and there's a shit ton of ads. Like you click on the link, you press play and 4 ads pop up.
Okay.
Because then you're like, God damn it. Then you
I didn't know porn sites had ads.
No. We can look at it together one day.
Okay.
There is a lot of ads. Some are really egregious. Like
I believe you.
You click on the link, 4 pop-ups, you close it, you press play, it plays, right? And then throughout the video, you try to like, find the right scene or whatever, and then more ads pop up. It's like, God damn.
I believe you.
No, we'll look at it together. Okay. Yeah, you'll see it.
All right. So porn is your site that you'll be proud of when people ask you to.
Well, when you say it like that,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, proud is the word I would use, but there was only 2 options.
All right. Shot number 9. Question number 9. What are you willing to splurge money on? Bonus. What is the dumbest thing you spent money on?
Well, on top of my head, I'm willing to splurge money on a very nice refrigerator.
Okay.
Because my refrigerator is currently broken. So I was looking into buying a Sub-Zero refrigerator. You know how much that shit cost?
How much?
$15,000.
What's a Sub-Zero refrigerator?
So it's an American-made brand in some, I don't know, Midwest states. But apparently it's very good quality. It'll last you like 20 plus years because refrigerators these days, they don't last you, right? And you should never buy an LG or Samsung because those goddamn Koreans, they don't know how to make a goddamn fridge.
Okay.
And so
I didn't know Koreans were in the refrigerator market.
LG and Samsung, they make fridges, and they make their smartphones, and they also make your refrigerators.
I know they're in the smartphone business, but
yeah. But I mean, how can I trust LG who makes shitty phones to make me a good fridge, right?
Yes.
So they make refrigerators, but it breaks. And then we have a Kenmore, but we found out that Kenmore is, even though it's an American brand, it's made by LG or LG parts or some Asian, Chinese, whatever. Mm-hmm. But our refrigerator broke, and I've been out of a goddamn fridge for a month, and Costco doesn't do shit. And so I was looking into buying a new fridge, and a Sub-Zero fridge is nice, but it's $15,000. But it's a nice fridge. Like, if you look at it, it's a really nice fridge.
What makes it nice again?
It keeps it very well insulated, and people have claimed that it keeps their food fresher for a longer period of time because I guess they have some kind of air filtration system where food will release a certain kind of chemical and it will like remove it. So it prevents it from spoiling.
Okay.
I've done my research, dude.
Is it worth $15,000 though?
If it lasts you 25 years, yes. Because if you think about it, most fridges these days, my fridge that broke, it only lasted slightly below 2 years.
That's a crap refrigerator.
It's a crap. Yeah, exactly. So these people, they make it so it only lasts 2 to 3 years.
Peter, keep it PG.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, but it's true. They don't last long. So they only last you 5 years and they break out on you. And then you have to spend like $2,000 every single time.
I mean, I don't buy fridges that often.
Okay, well, what fridge do you have?
A Whirlpool.
See, American made.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See,
why were you buying Chinese made?
Well, we bought Kenmore because my brother-in-law said, "Oh, it's a good fridge," and it turned out not to be a good fridge.
Yeah.
So I tell him, "You fucked up."
So I guess the answer to this question, since the question was, what is something that you willing to splurge money on? And
I would splurge. So my first answer is a refrigerator. Because
why would you splurge money on a fridge?
Because nobody should be out of a fridge for a month.
Okay.
Because imagine you not having access to a fridge for a month. Your life would be difficult.
Yeah.
And I live in America.
But
I should not have no access to no fridge for a month.
So you will splurge money on a top tier fridge or
on just a top tier fridge?
Okay.
I think I would spend money on a top tier fridge. I would spend money on a top tier fridge. I would spend money on.
For me, or my answer for this question will be a car, or I lease cars, so I'm always looking to. So I know that's wasteful money.
Well, what kind of car? Sports car, regular cars?
Sports cars. I mean, I've leased my last 3 cars. At least were Audis.
You like Audis, huh? But they lost World War II.
Did they?
Wait, Audi's a German brand.
It is.
They made tanks, no?
They what?
Did they make tanks?
Tanks?
Yeah, tanks.
I'm sure maybe. I don't know Audi's history as much as you're trying to insinuate.
You like Audis?
Yeah, they're nice cars.
Well, what do you like about them?
I don't know.
You don't know why you like, bro? How much are you paying on your lease? How much are you paying on your lease?
$950 a month.
$950 a month.
They look nice. I mean, all-wheel drive.
$950 a month.
If I'm ever in a snowstorm, I'll be fine.
How much is your insurance?
$150 a month. It's not that
You're
bad.
spending $1,100 on a goddamn automobile.
It's German's finest in.
And you questioning if I want a Sub-Zero fridge of $1,500? No, well, hold up. $1,100 a month. That means I only need to spend around 14 months of payments to get a nice refrigerator that lasts me 20, 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
But your lease is for how long?
5 years.
5 years. So 1,100. I'm not too drunk to do the math here. Times 12. That's approximately $13,200.
Okay.
Give or take. Times 5. That's around 6,500. Give or take. No, 7,500. Anyway.
I'm trusting you since I can't follow this.
60 to 70,000.
Okay.
You spending 60 to 70,000 on a car that you could buy,
Yeah.
but why lease it?
Because what was the question again? It was.
But why splurge on it?
Why would you splurge? Because I can.
Because you can.
Yeah.
On an Audi. Why not a Beamer? Like what? Why Audi over a Beamer?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like,
because you always done Audi.
There was like one instance in my life where I can think of back in my college days where I don't know, somebody was driving an Audi. I'm like, oh, that's a nice car. And ever since then, I'm like, I want to.
I mean, you should never get a Beamer. You know, my rule is anyone who drives a Beamer, they're an asshole.
Okay.
By default.
Why?
Because every single moment that I've noticed it was a Beamer driver, they were an asshole. My friend used to have a Beamer. He's an asshole.
Not Audis?
Not Audis.
Okay.
I don't know anyone who drives an Audi except you. Except our other friend. But
how drunk are you right now, Peter?
I'm okay. Like I'm at a good buzz. Like
really? So you can do another 10 of these?
I might need water to chase it down. Wait. What was the second part of the question? Because we never answered that part.
Bonus. What is the dumbest thing you spent money on?
Oh man, the dumbest thing I spent money on.
Stocks.
I mean, I want to say that's dumb.
Wall Street bets.
That's a lesson learned in experience. Look, don't make me feel too bad. Like I want to rationalize my decision. But the dumbest thing I bought. Oh man.
I mean, I guess mine is still leasing. Leasing a car is the dumbest thing you can do.
You think that's the dumbest thing?
Yeah. Like if you're trying to be money conservative, then yeah, it's the dumbest thing you can do.
But then how do you balance it with, okay, I'm willing to splurge on it, but I acknowledge that's dumb.
Because I have no other major expenses, I guess.
You have a mortgage?
Yeah. But I don't have a family. So if I had a family, then I'd be more conscious about my spending. But since I don't.
But I mean, you're going to want a family, right? So why not plan for that future? Because you're going to have a family eventually.
I want to splurge right now.
Oh my God. I think the dumbest thing I bought was... Damn, there's so... I mean...
Stocks.
No.
Investing in stocks.
I'm trying to find an alternative.
I mean, how much money you lose in stocks?
Too much. I mean, you're not wrong, but let me be in denial. Shit. Or it's probably stock. I think if I had to pick one instance from stock, it would probably be BlackBerry.
BlackBerry?
Yeah.
You invested in BlackBerry? It
was pretty dumb. Because I thought that they were going to turn around with their stupid phones. They did not turn around. They're pretty close to, well, they're not bankrupt yet.
Well, what was the failure about BlackBerry? So they were like the business phone, right? Or the...
Yeah, with the little keyboard.
Yeah.
So they tried releasing their touch phones. Obviously, it didn't work out because...
Was it the App Store that was a failure or?
No, it's just their phones were a piece of shit.
Okay.
You know, and nobody wanted them. And I was like, oh, I put like 40 or 50 grand in, and I was like,
Nice.
God damn it.
Instead of Samsungs and iPhones, you went
You know,
Blackberries.
if I could have just taken out that 20, 30 grand and bought myself a shit ton of like Pornhub premium membership, and that would have been the same thing,
Sure.
you know. But at least the Pornhub premium membership, it would have gotten me something. That's the only difference. Or I could have bought, I could have bought a lot with 20, 30 grand.
Yes, it's a lot of money.
You know, I could have bought an Audi too. I don't know if I would buy an Audi. I heard German cars are not that well made.
What is your
these days.
favorite brand of car?
Teslas.
Teslas.
You don't like?
Well,
you need to get a Tesla.
Would you get a Cybertruck?
I would.
Wow.
You don't like Cybertrucks?
They're pretty ugly.
They are not ugly.
Really? You think
Yeah,
they
go
look
fuck
nice?
yourself. They're not ugly. You think they're ugly?
Yes.
All right. Well, hold up. Have you looked at a
I
Cybertruck
saw one today.
on the road?
Yes.
But what makes it ugly?
It was it looked very
Tell me.
The hard edges, the boxiness of it.
Okay.
The
So those cars, they have hard edges.
I'm just saying.
I'm triggered right now. You don't okay, but you don't think you don't think like the edges and the sleekness look nice?
No.
No? You like the roundness?
I mean, I'm not saying the edges and the hardness is a bad design, but the Cybertruck it just doesn't work.
But you got okay. I can understand why it's not everyone's first choice of design,
Yeah.
but I don't know where I was going with my thought.
It's okay. Let's do this last question.
All right.
All right.
I still think it's a good car.
All right. If today or cheers first. Oh man,
You're weak.
I'm there. All right, last question. If today was your last day, what unfinished business would you have?
Oh man, unfinished business. Well, honestly, I think if I was to answer this very seriously, the only unfinished business I would have is leaving enough money for, my family. Not just my wife, but my parents, her parents,
Yeah.
everyone, like relatives, like everyone. So I think that would honestly be my only unfinished business. Like making sure that they are financially secure because I'm a man, so a man should provide for their family, and they should be, if they die, then they should have enough so that they don't have to worry about money. So luckily, if I was to die today, they don't have to worry about money because they're not reliant on me for income, but I would still want them to be extra secure so that they can live out 30, 40 years of their lives and not wonder if, am I able to pay the bills?
Yeah.
So I think honestly, that's my only unfinished business. But personally, aside from that, I would have liked to seen just how far I could have gone in life. Whether that's just, where my life would have taken me.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the definition of unfinished business kind of thing. So, but I don't. Yeah. Asking me this question right now. I mean, just because I'm a truth seeker, not knowing the truth of what our life meaning is, that would be the only unfinished business. But besides that, I don't have a family or anything like that. So
you don't feel like your unfinished business is not having family?
I guess so. I mean, is that what the evolution of human species is to have descendants and
I think
kids
so.
and
But I
stuff
mean,
like
you
that?
personally, do you think that's your unfinished business? Not having a wife, not having kids,
I guess so, yeah.
not leaving.
I mean, because I never had it, I just don't know what that true feeling is until you have it kind of feeling. So because I haven't experienced it, it's just not something that resonates with me kind of thing right now. But I'm sure
Would you
it
rather
is something
have-
that I would want to accomplish.
So would you rather have your truth or your family? If you could pick right now.
Truth.
The truth. So that's your unfinished business, the truth.
Mm-hmm. Knowing the true meaning of why we're here, I guess.
What about leaving enough money for your parents? Like if you were to die today.
Leaving enough money for my parents. So
Yeah, of course. Because, you know, at some point.
well, it shouldn't. It's the question is for your kids, right? So if it's for my parents, then I don't think that.
Well, I guess, you know, the original question, right, was what's your unfinished business? But just to kind of expand on that, like for me, I've said my unfinished business is leaving enough financial security for my family, whether it's my parents, my relatives, my in-laws, you name it. So would you say that's an unfinished business of yours or not really?
No, because I don't have a family or relatives or anything to leave anything behind.
Well, but what about your parents and your sister?
Well, maybe my sister, but I'm assuming by the time my life was because the question is if your life was come to end today, that means
Yeah, today, meaning your parents would still be alive.
wouldn't their lives also come? Well, I guess how is life coming to end? Is the world ending or
No, like
it might just die?
no, dude,
suddenly?
like you just died right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you just got a heart attack because
If I die today, then my parents don't have to rely on me anyway, so it's not. It won't be any detriment to them.
But don't a part of you just want to provide for them just in case? Because they've taken care of you for your like 18 years.
Yeah, I don't want any negative detriment on anything leaving behind. So if I can rectify that some way, then sure, that'll be my.
But that's not on your top unfinished business.
It will be. So anything that would, if I was to die today, then anything that would leave a negative impact behind, then I would want to make sure that doesn't happen right now, I guess, in a sense.
I mean, I think my other top unfinished business would be.
I'm too drunk for this question. That's what it is.
I mean, there's so many regrets, right? Because, you know, when you are, you know, you're in your 50s and I'm in my 30s and
Stop making me in my 50s.
like, of course, like I said, my top unfinished business is financial security. But I think if I was to really expand on that question, my second would be to, I think I said it earlier, how far could I have gone if I lived to my 60s and 70s? Whether that's career, as a husband, as a son-in-law, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think my third one would also be, I want to see what I could have done for, I'm not really a political guy, but what could I have done for my community, right? Because I think at some point when I get older, I would want to give back to my community. I don't know why, but I think I have a feeling I might want to participate in that. Not that I'm doing it now, but I have a feeling I would. I don't know why. I'm also 10 shots in.
Yes.
So, but I think that's very important. I think civic engagement is a very important thing because.
So for the future generation.
I think so, because I can't help but feel like, you know.
I agree. I mean,
we should pave the way for our future generations. Sure. You know, and I think that's important.
I can agree with you on that part.
So maybe I have unfinished business in that respect where I would want to set up a donation or a nonprofit center for them, or I would want to be a mentor. Not that anyone would want to listen to me, but I mean, there's a lot. I just feel like everyone has a lot of untapped potentials, you know? So I don't know. The question is kind of deep if you really think about it, because unfinished business, like there's a lot. If you really think about it, there's really a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, because you never want to think that your life is going to end today kind of thing. So like there's so many things left that you want to do. But if you're giving like one thing you have to finish today, then what is that one thing, right? So,
well, what would your one thing be?
Like I said, I mean, to me, what's most important is knowing what your true meaning of life is. So I would want to answer to that somehow. Like, why are we here? Or like, why are we existing? Like, whether that's because of religion or that's because, you know, natural selection or for whatever reason.
What do you like if you were to answer this question? What do you think your true meaning of life is?
I don't know. That's the whole problem. Because I don't know. I want to know the answer.
But if you had to formulate an answer.
If I had to formulate an answer, the reason why we exists is, I don't know, we're our own gods of some sort. And
Like we make our own destiny?
sure, we have our own universe, or I don't know. It's a very, very high level topic that I can't have an answer to, especially when I'm drunk like this.
Well, I think being drunk helps because it allows you to answer without any inhibition.
Sure.
Like if you were to answer my own question, I think my purpose in life is simply to be a provider. But keep in mind, I'm also biased with a financial degree, right? So I think in terms of everything of a monetary bias. So I think one of the most important things in life is money. I don't think people like to say it, but money is truly what makes the world go around. And unless we've seen otherwise, which we haven't, that will continue to be the case.
Yeah.
And so I think money allows opportunities. Money does not make you a better person, but money gives you the opportunity to be a better person. Because when you don't have money, how can you be a better person when you can't even take care of yourself? When you can't even take care of your family? But when you have money, you can provide for your loved ones, and then you can give back to your community, which can make a positive impact in the future generations to come.
Sure.
So that's my thought process. I think the other aspect of that too is without money, it's really hard for you to do anything. Because even if you have the right ideas, you can't fund it.
Yeah.
And so what's the point if you don't have the capital? And this is like, I think this is sort of the problem that we see now. It's like people have good ideas. Like you wouldn't think that they have good ideas, but certain people have good ideas and you're like, damn, if only they knew the right people. Like what's that saying that, when luck meets opportunity or something like that, and then that's when you get results. I'm
Something
pretty
like
fucking drunk.
I don't know, but I gotta pee, so you.
But
I'll be right back.
all right, you come back. You come back, David. Wait, how long are we in? Oh shit.
Wait, I don't even remember how we were finishing that conversation, but
Well, David, you said that I forgot what you said, but we are 10 shots in. We answered all 10 questions. If you have any questions, feel free to submit them in the comments and we will address them in the second episode of Flight Response. Flight Response. Well, I mean, we did 10, so maybe we can do like 20 shots.
I don't know. 10. I'm pretty into it right now, so I think 10 is the good benchmark for truth to come out of our mouths.
I feel like 20 is pretty good too.
Okay, I don't know about that.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Are you drunk?
I am drunk.
All right. Well, I'm pretty buzzed. So thank you for watching and good night.